Okay. So in the TestNG, in the previous session, we have covered about how other before suit works, how before class, before test, before method, and other test, and there is after method, before method, right? How it works. So let's execute this particular class using TestNG. Okay. I have added one plugin in Eclipse. Okay. Then good. Mm, mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Mm. Mhm. Okay, so here you can see I'm in a before suit, then after test, before test, then before class. Okay, so the first would be the before suit, then before test, then before class. But I think I haven't done some for others. Before group, after test is done. I'm in test. I'm in test. I'm in group class suits. Okay, fine. Fine. You can see first is suit, then test, then after that before class. Okay. Then you can see before test. I mean before test. After that before class. Then test one, test two, test three. After that, then before class. After class. Okay. After class, then after test. Okay. Before group is and after group is not running because we are not including excluding any group. Okay, we are not naming anything like any test case. If I want to give any test as a name, like grouping, right, we need to provide uh, I can name it as a smoke test. This one is a part of suppose this test is part of the sanity test, this is part of some other test. Okay, so in that case, if I want to run only the regression suite, so I'll be grouping those and I'll be running those groups like a smoke test or maybe sanity test, etc. Right? So in that case, the grouping will work. And after method, before method is there. After method, before method, for each test, it will work. Right? Then now, let's see another concept called data provider. So how the data provider? What do you understand by data provider? Mhm. Yeah, not the Excel sheet, any external source, right? We are not only limited with the Excel sheet. We can do the stuff, anything. The main purpose of this particular concept is it will iterate the particular test. Okay, iterate, iterate test with the multiple sets of data. Okay, that means suppose I have a test. Let me just remove this particular thing. Okay, suppose I have a test. Okay, I can name any name, public void, then yes, test one, maybe. Fine. So within that I'll be writing one method. Okay, yes, not Excel sheet, a normal one. Okay, normal one. But I'll be writing I want something called username. Username is something I just wanted to print it and I want to parameterize this thing. I want to read this suppose the username is Prudvi, okay, and password is something you can say, okay. So this is my username and password, okay. Here I have written, but my intention is I don't want to make it hard coded, okay. Now you can see it's a hard coded, right? If I run it, it will run successfully with username and password. Okay, you can see Prithvi and the password is something like this. But my intention is I want to make it a parameterize. Okay, how can I do? Yes, username. Okay, I can parameterize this particular method. Okay, password. So instead of hard coded value here, what I'll be doing is I'll be replacing this Prithvi, all right, with this particular value plus the password value also I'll be replacing from there. Okay, fine. So if I run it, will it work? It will print null because the initial value should be null, or it's showing some error. It says this particular method require okay, test method test one require two parameter, but zero were supplied in the test annotation. Okay, it says you haven't supplied any particular parameter to it. Okay, just define it. You need to supply those things. How to supply? Yeah, data provider is different. We'll talk now after that. Okay, now the concept is another concept is parameter. At parameter is there. One more annotation present in TestNG that is called parameters. Okay, okay. You can see this should come this one, right? Org TestNG dot annotation. It should come from TestNG. Okay, and in here you need to write, okay, like username and, the password. Okay, see, yes, maybe you have to provide like this plus a string. Okay, okay, there is some issue. Let's see. So I just forgot to use this bracket. Within that bracket, we need to use this username and password. Okay, fine. So now it's fine. Then what do you mean by these parameters? From where you need to provide it? Okay, so you should provide it from XML, testng.xml file that we have already uh, created, right? Right. So in there, we need to provide the parameters, right? So let's see. Let's how to provide this parameter from the TestNG. This TestNG.xml. If you go there, okay, and here you can see the class. This is the test. Okay. So here I'll be providing parameters within this. Within that, okay. So before the classes, because this is my test, okay, because it is in test level. You can see here the parameter is in test level, right? Test level. So what I'll be doing is, yeah, and here I'll be writing parameters. Okay, parameter. Okay, and here what I'll be writing is name. The parameter value. What is the parameter? Second. Pa parameters. Okay. So parameter name equals first name was username, right? Username, correct. And the value you need to provide from here. Username, Prudvi, right? This is one parameter. Similarly, for other parameters, what you can do, just copy, let's see, paste over here, password. Okay. So the password would be Champati. Okay, so now the username and password we are giving from external source. What is the external? External source is now testng.xml file. We are providing it from testng.xml file. Okay, so this particular thing will come from the testng.xml. So why we use this thing and when we use in in our project, basically when you want to run with a multiple browsers, okay, when you want to run through grid, Selenium grid, then we need to pass pa parameters, username and password, sometime which browser you want to work on. Suppose, yes, like a Chrome browser, IE browser, Firefox browser. Okay, so these browsers can be passed from testng.xml like this way. Just change from here, so automatically our code will pick that particular browser. Okay, so, so that is the purpose of using parameterizations. Yes, yes. What was the mark? It's saying maybe I have written something wrong. And password is also correct, right? Let's see. Now it should work. Hmm. The test label, that is fine. Test. Let me change the test name as well. What is the test name? Test one. It should not matter on. Yes. The thing is, you need to run it from testng.xml. That is the case. Okay. So you must run it through testng.xml. Oh, sorry. The thing is, we have provided that class, not this particular class. In here, testng.xml, you can see this is the wrong one. All right. So now I have provided this class name. So let's see. Let's see if it is able to pick up this data. You can see Prudevi and Champati. It is coming from the testng.xml file. Fine. Okay. So sometime what happens is, suppose you don't want, like you have you are writing something over here, right? You're writing from here, and you don't want to run through testng.xml, but still you want to pass the data from here as well. Okay, for dry run purpose, if you want to get the data without having this data as well from testng.xml, you want to run it. How you can run it? There is another um, you know method is there. What is that? @optional. Okay, so the optional, what it will do is it will it try to you know first find the value from the parameters. It says, let's say we run from here. Okay, run. Okay, so one second. Okay, so what it will happen is it will first check if the value is you are running from here and if there is no value which is set, the username and password, it will go with the optional value. Okay, what is the optional value we can set? We can take username, or maybe wrong. Let's see, the syntax or something like that. One second. Maybe I'm wrong here. Let's see. The optional value, then one second. Okay, so the syntax would be, you don't have to write like this way as you see. Okay, you need to provide this optional like this way. Okay, now it's working. User one, fine, and the password is also optional. I'll say I want like this way, pass one. Okay, so when it is beneficial, if you want to run this test case from here, this optional would be useful. Okay, so this would be useful when I'll be using from here. Okay, the user one, the pass one. Okay, and If I want to run through this TestNG.xml, then which value it will pick? This particular username and password. Fine. If I run from here, like go to this particular run as, then the TestNG.x this thing, then see it is coming from this thing, from the XML. Right? Yes, we can. We should, because suppose I have given, okay, suppose there is a condition where I want to run the Selenium grid, okay, or using some Chrome browser. I want to, this is my default browser, okay, this is my default browser. So this default browser I need to set from here an optional tab, like, okay, if I do not have any parameter present in testng.xml, then it should pick this default one, Chrome. Okay, and if I want to run from Firefox or IE, then that should pick up from testng.xml, that need to be provided in testng.xml file. Okay, got it? Yeah. And yeah, so this is the concept of testng.xml parameters. Okay, so this is fine. This is how this username and password we used here. Suppose there is a there is one more situation where this username and password need to be supplied for multiple users. Understood? Like, I want to log in this particular user login page with Rudevi. Yes, Rudevi Devi and jump it. Correct. And there is another set of data called maybe Upster and another data Avi. Okay, and I know his name, the last name, Avi's name. Okay, nice. Okay, nice. Okay, okay, fine. So this is the three sets of data I want to run in this particular uh, test. Okay, three times I want to run. So how can we run it? So from here, the data provider comes into picture. Okay, so let's see how we can write the data provider. Fine. So let's write one data provider class. Parameter is fine. Now what I'll be writing is a data provider. So let's see how we can write a data provider. Are there a data provider you need to write? Okay, not Excel. Excel is something different. Like Excel is not mandatory to use only for data driven. You can use anything, right? JSON, you can use XML, a lot of things. Excel is optional. Okay. Yes, yes. Any file, from any file you can read the data, right? So now here we are not using the Excel, but yes, we can use Excel. We can use CSV, etc. We can read those data from external sources. Then we can convert those into a data provider, and that data provider can be passed here. Let's see how we can provide. Yes, we can. Mhm. Yes, yes, we can do that. We can do that. Okay. The name is some name if you want to give, like or username and password, credential, right? We can say credentials. Each data provider, you should have a unique name, okay, that need to be passed there. Okay, then public, uh, yeah, name. Like this is a username and password, so that you can name it as a credentials or any name you want to give it. Just some meaningful name so that you can, remember that, oh, this data provider, what it will do. Okay, okay, okay. Public, then static object. It will return object of two-dimensional array, right? And you can name it as a credential. The method, yeah, okay, credentials. And here you need to just saying, okay, data. Okay, I have written some wrong name over here. That's why it's saying change the data provider. Okay, now it's correct. Fine. So it's you should return an object of two-dimensional array. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So how we can do this? We can write like this: return new object in a single line. Also, you can provide. Or what I'll be doing is, let's see, data equals, okay, some name I'll be giving. Okay, new object. Yes, I'll tell you. Object, okay, two-dimensional array. Fine. So it is a two-dimensional array. Okay. So basically what happens is, in two-dimensional array there is one thing that for the row number, and another thing is for column number. Okay. Okay. So there should be two sets of data within this. Let's see. Okay. That is a username and password. So what is the username? I'd write here the first set of data. What is that? This Pruthvi and Champati. I'll write like this way: Pruthvi and Champati. Fine. Then again, suppose there are another sets of data. I need to write like this way. What was that? Upsell. Okay. Then Ali. And the third set of data, I can write something like Avi, and other name is. I'll explain that. Fine. Understood. This is how we have written. Okay. Fine. Cool. Then this is my object, and it's okay. And this data need to be returned. Fine. Now you can see it should work. So why saying, okay, I think need to provide one more. Okay, within the class it should be present. Right? Okay, now you can see here what I have done is my aim was to return one object. Okay, object of two-dimensional array. Okay, so what I did is I have created one new object, or the object of this particular two-dimensional array. Okay, created an object of two-dimensional array, and I have provided the data for this Pruthvi, Champati, like this way. So what it will do is this particular sets of data is one row, and this is second row, and this is the third row. Okay, and so let me explain. Yeah, yeah. Let me just explain this thing how it works. In Excel, we did something. All right. In Excel also we have done something like this way. There are some rows and there are some columns. Okay, so what it will do, this is my particular row and this is my column. Okay, sorry, this is my row and this is my column. So if I have two sets of data, that means this one. Okay, Prudhivi. Okay, and this is my Champati. Okay, and something like that. Here my name is there. Ali is there, and here V is there, and this is side. Okay, so what it will do, it will first, come to here. This is my row, first row of 0. Okay, first row. So it will check whether how many data you have. Okay, because we have written something like this, right? Object, okay, of array and of array. That means what it will do is, okay, the first array, this first, I'll tell you, first object in this, sorry, in this it will take the row, okay, and this will take column. Got it? That means, okay, this is a row. This is row means what would be the row over here? 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 2 or 3. Suppose 3. Okay. And what is the column? Column would be also 3 because 3 column is there. Suppose some random value is there. Okay. Okay. That means the 3 times it iterate. Row means this particular, okay, or maybe 4, whatever. Okay. So what this 3 does mean? This particular 3, the first one. First is for row. Okay. That means how many rows it is present, how many sets of data it should uh, iterate through. Okay, and this 3 means the column means how many parameters that need to be provided. Got it? First is row, row or sets of data need to be provided. Okay, or numbers of iteration. Okay, the first one. And the second one is column. Okay, column. What does it mean? Number of uh, parameters or a number of data present for each row, or for each iteration, how many number of data present, number of data or number of parameters. Okay, parameters need to be provided. Okay, what is mean by parameters? Yes, here we are using only username and password. That means only two columns should be there, only Prithvi and Champati. Okay, if I have given here three, okay, that means I need to provide here another value. Okay, if I give another value, some random value maybe, so in that case I should also include another parameter over here. Got it? Yes. So let me do this thing. What I'll do, I'll provide a data provider. Yes, yes. If you have three columns, you need to provide three parameters. Yes, otherwise it will show some mismatch exceptions, right? So let me just write that. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, now it's correct. Let me remove this one. Fine. And yeah. So in here, I need to write the data provider equals to credentials. Yes, credentials. Yes. Correct name? Credentials. Right? So fine. So then how, yeah, tell me. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yes, yes. Yes. Like we need to add values. Like we are, in array there are two, three ways. Like if you want to add it, or you can do like this way as well. Like how we define array. Array, suppose array equals to something like this way. One, two, sorry, one, two, three, four, something like that. Also, you can declare, right? You know. Yeah, same thing we are using here. Also, the other way also I'll be showing that one. Fine. So let's see. Let's run it. Let's see how is our this particular thing is working. Yeah, hoping so. You can see run test three runs. Okay, and you can say username Prothivi and password is Sampati. Username is Afsar, password is Ali. Username is Avi, and password is Sai. So you can see 3 times it is being iterated. Okay, the same particular test is being run 3 times. Okay, for multiple sets of data we can run it. So the another way to write this, okay, let me not the CSV one, another way of doing this. CSV we will cover in CSV and Excel. We'll cover in the framework. Okay, fine. Okay, so now another way. This is the one way. Let me just put everything in here. The notes. Second. Okay. Yes. In this case, I have what I have written. I have just commented out the previous one. Okay. What we hard coded this value, Prithvi Champati, something like that. So, this is uh, a different way of representing this without hard coding the values from here. Okay. What I have done is I have created an object of data, two-dimensional array. Okay. Then I have written like this: new object, and this is my row, number of iteration that I want to perform, the number of times that I want to iterate through, or number of sets of data that I want to provide. Okay, if I take 3, then 3 sets of data I need to provide. If I take 100, then 100 sets of data I need to provide. The number of rows is 3 here, and the number of column is 2. Column means the number of parameter that you want to pass. Okay, suppose I have only username and password, so my parameter is only 2, so I'll be providing these 2 value over here. Fine. Okay, it is defined. Now let's add some value to it. Okay, so how to do this? Okay, so I'll be writing some like data I have defined. I need to pass some value to it. Okay, so how to do? 0 0. Okay, 0 0 equals some value, same thing, Champati, Prithvi. Okay, now data 0 1. Yep, 0 1 equals to, yep. Okay, 0 0 0 1 1 0. All right, 1 0 1 1. Then it would be 2 0, then 2 1. All right, this is my first row. This is my first row, and this is my second row, and this third row. All right, so yes, and let me change this value as well. Okay, Absarali, Avi, and this was Sai. Okay, now it will return you some different the same value. Okay, and the same way, but the representation is just something different, right? If I run it, let's see, hard coded. Yep, still hard coded, but we are refining it in other ways, so that instead of this thing, what we can write, we can provide the data from Excel. I'll be creating an object of Excel class that we have already created, I think. Okay, okay, reader Excel reader class, I'll be creating object, and I'll read the data from Excel and assign it to this first row. Assign the value to this. I need to write some for loop, and I'll assign all the values present within the Excel to here. Okay, in this way. We'll see. Okay, in coming sessions. Okay, let me run it. Okay, you can see will get the same result. No change, right? Got it? So this is how the data provider will work, iterating with the multiple datas. This is most important concept in framework, in specifically in the TestNG framework using Selenium. Okay.